Welcome back. I wanted to make a short video on a couple new external TC designs that I think could become the new meta. It uses a socket override bunker that can be opened from the inside to access a battery, TC, and boxes to hide your main loot. This design is similar to the freehand TC bunker, but can allow you not only to have more boxes, but a respawn area can be added with some great retake peaks that face back towards your main base. Not only can it offer these patrico peaks, but it could be used as a super cheap and strong starter base, which can then be connected to your main base later. I have 3 types of external TCs I'd like to showcase, which vary the deployables and angles that they achieve. Version 1 of this design, which I recommend, uses only 20% more metal than in the freehand bunker. While stone is an additional cost, I believe this upgraded TC, being so cheap in stone, is justified. Starting off the tour, we show off this simple gatehouse. This is meant to represent where it connects to your main base. As you can see, this TC design is still disconnectable, meaning you can replace the main TC of your base. From the outside, we have this patrico peak here. We have a ramp here to increase the soft side raid cost of the foundation, which holds up the connection point to the external TC. We have a simple single door airlock with a bag inside, which can be used to clear outside before you advance. In this configuration, we have a small box and 2 sleeping bags. The small box allows us to crouch and get some decent peeks outside. As you saw, you can actually get some decent angles back at the side of your base in case of a pummel raid or raiders laddering up. As you can see, the bunker is sealed. To open it, we simply place this twig triangle roof. This will then destroy the floor. This gives us access to our large battery, TC, and boxes. No doubt you can optimize the storage capacity inside the bunker, especially with using barrels. Once you're ready to seal it, you can simply demolish the twig roof and then place the floor. The boxes above the bunker could be used for some respawn kits. The wooden floor above reduces the raider's ability to watch for respawns or camping on top of the roof. This is only a recommended addition. Moving over to version 2, this is slightly bigger than the original version. In this configuration we have 2 squares instead of 3 triangles. This allows us to put a bed for a respawn area, as well as increasing the drop-off storage outside the bunker. Once again, we have a very similar patrico peak. We can vary the height that we use by using this ramp here that prevents soft siding, and once again the ramp below also prevents soft siding. To open the bunker, you sometimes have to take off the horizontal embrasure in this configuration. Once you have placed it, you can then demolish it and you'll have access to the same bunker type here. One of the downsides of this configuration is you only have one door into this area. This means that you don't have an airlock securing the respawn. Moving on to the final configuration, we have this design here. In this design you have a patrico peak on both sides. This could be a great way, depending on the size of your base or the angles that the external TC would be seeing, to vary the angles that you achieve, so it might work better with different types of bases. And once again we have a double respawn area as well as drop boxes above. And here we have our bunker just behind the single door. Similar to the second version, we can just place a roof here, which gives access to the bunker. To reseal it, we simply place it, and then we can upgrade. Now I will show you how to make each of the versions. In this case, we have a placeholder for a gatehouse. This is one of my new gatehouse designs I will be using later. In the first version, it is recommended that you have 2 half walls that connect to the side of the base. This might not be an airlocked entrance, it might be just a wall to your flank bedroom or something like that. Off this side, you want to build off by only 4 triangles, then a stone square. Then off this stone square here, we will build off with triangles. 1 triangle can be upgraded, and then the remaining 3 triangles can also be upgraded, leaving the one in the middle twig. Then we will upgrade a raised foundation on the left hand side. This is what you should be left with. On the right hand side we'll place 2 half walls and then a floor on top. Then we'll connect a triangle frame to this, and then a floor again connected to this. It should look like this. Then you can place a raised triangle foundation in the middle and upgrade it to armoured. You can leave it metal if you'd like to disguise it a little bit more, but of course this can be soft-sided, so upgrading it can increase the raid cost. Then each of the triangles just place full walls and then a floor on top, and then place half walls here. You can actually leave your external TC like this, and not add the stone if you want to keep it simple. You can open the bunker using twig ramp and then place your TC and other deployables inside. Of course, to connect it to the rest of the base that your external TC is upkeeping, you should place a floor ramp here just to increase the soft side raid cost, then a frame on the left hand side, a solid floor, and then connect it with remaining triangle frames. It should look like this. You can leave the base like this if you'd like. As you can see, to disconnect it, you must have 2 half walls on the side that you're connecting to. Now we will complete the rest of the TC. Add a single door airlock and a wall on the right. You can actually switch this wall for a window if you prefer. Then place half walls on top for increased storage. And then a window here to create the patrico peak. You can place your horizontal embrasure facing inwards. Then your bag should be tucked against the side here. You should have just enough room for the small box so you can actually place the floor. You can check that you can place it by placing a roof triangle. Then of course, add doorways. And add some more storage here. You can actually put another battery here if you'd like. And then you can place another respawn area inside the airlock. You can place a glass window that you can then pick up later in the case of raid defense, just for added security. You can then add a lowered ramp above, which should only be upgraded to stone, and then the wood floor above that. And that is version 1 complete. Now we will show version 2. In this version we do exactly the same. We build out by 4 triangles, then a square. We will then build an L shape like so, upgrading the one on the left to metal, and then upgrade these final 3 foundations. This is what you should be left with. Place half walls at the edge of this metal foundation, then a frame above it. You can then add a ramp here to increase the raid cost, then a frame here as well, and then you can place a raised foundation inside once you place the frame. Then add a ramp here to prevent soft siding once again, and then on this side to connect it to the rest of the base, we will place a frame, and then we can connect it exactly like version 1. Now we will complete the bunker exactly like version 1. On this version we'll place a single door, then we will add ramps, but before we place the ramps we can place the floor in case you're using a skin that isn't brutalist skin. It can sometimes prevent you placing the floor above. You will then want to place 2 falls on this side and then a single door, and of course add the floor above. Then we'll place wood above here again, and then the 2 ramps. One here below to prevent soft siding, and then one above to create a patrico beat. You can come to the outside to create the shelf for your drop-off boxes. And that is version 2 complete. We will now do the last version. In this case, you don't actually need the 2 half walls. This can be left as a window or a solid wall. Build out by 4 triangles, then a square, and then another square. This last square, put half walls around it, and then above the first half wall you can place another half wall, then connect it to the rest of the base. Then, just like the second version, you want to place 2 frames connected to each other and then a raised foundation. But of course at the end you want to add these triangle foundations. Then we will complete the same bunker once again. Make sure, just like version 2, you don't add the frame. In this version we can create the patrico peaks from the outside of the base, placing a triangle frame and then a floor connected to it. Then place raised ramps like so. Let me know what you think about this external TC design. If you did like the content you just watched, feel free to check out my other videos and subscribe to the channel, it's greatly appreciated.